what was the biggest difference in the fourth quarter? That's when you guys obviously took control tonight.
Yeah, again, I think we just thought our defense was really great in the fourth, man. We were just flying all over the place. Got our hands on a bunch of, we tipped a bunch around, just disruption. I thought guys would drive and somebody was there to help, they'd kick it out. We, for the most part, challenged most of those shots. Pushed them inside the line enough to make them take enough twos and even challenge those at some point. And then we did a much better job on the defensive glass in the fourth quarter too.
Those minutes early in the fourth, on paper right now, should be really difficult for you guys because, you know, Tyrese is on the bench, you're down Joel and Paul. I guess, is there any common theme that you think has allowed these guys to succeed and hold the fort without Maxey?
Yeah, well, probably the biggest, well, let me just, I looked out there at the fourth and they had brought all their starters back, right? So he obviously was planning on us being kind of in that rotation. We have left Tyrese with Reggie and Kyle some lately, right? But yeah, I was pretty concerned, and I did mention it to my staff. I was like, we gotta watch this. He's got all his starters back. We may need to. We had 4 guys off the bench in, but they started attacking the zone instead of standing around. We got in a little bit of a moment of standing around looking at it, and it was so stretched out. We kept telling them to drive the ball, and Reggie drove it once, and then Kelly drove it. You know, we started attacking that pretty good. I don't know. I guess they probably made a couple shots. Reggie threw one in. Ricky played great. Right, Ricky was, what was he, plus 28. I thought he made some key plays. And even Mona, I thought Mona did a good job. He started figuring out how to free those guys up on the perimeter with the angles of the screens against the zone as well. That's what got those guys downhill a few times. And their defense was good.
I guess just the bench unit as a whole. I mean, Kyle coming in, giving you the big lift that he did. Reggie, Ricky. Like, how important is that, especially now, just considering?
Yeah. Well, that Reggie Kyle kind of combination of coming in together is for whatever reason has really seemed to be a good combination. You know, they've either held the fort or you know, extended the lead or whatever, or got us back in whatever. They've been rarely been a minus, right? It's always been an even or higher, and some of them, like tonight, you know, you can see the plus minus. There's some big ones there, so they took it from, what were we down, 80-68?
Yeah.
Or something like that, and then all of a sudden we took off and what was that, about a 30-10 run or something like that. So those guys were a big part of that.
Both your big runs in like the late first quarter and then in late third quarter corresponded with Reggie and Kyle coming in. What did you think about them change the dynamic of where the game was headed?
I'm not sure. I just think that the start of the game, the first 6 minutes of the game, and the first 6 minutes of the third, for whatever reason, it was just transition fest for them. Right? For whatever reason, we couldn't get back, couldn't get matched up and whatever, and probably just defensive organization to start with. We got our guys back and we got the ball slowed down a little bit. That's probably where it started. And then again, I think I always say this, and I thought it was true. The big run to start the third was because we were standing around looking at the zone. Now we did get some wide open threes. I think 3 in a row, didn't make any of them, but those long clank misses, and they're going the other way, and we're on our heels, right?
They were pretty aggressive right off the bat with trapping Tyrese. Yep. Just it seemed like he made pretty good decisions all night. Just what did you see in that regard?
Yeah, we were good. You know, they have been aggressive, really aggressive here recently. Obviously, we had a little problem with it at the end of the game there, so we did, you know, pre-game we went on the court and worked on some things, but our guy, Tyrese again made the reads, the right plays. Thought he was really good at the throw ahead. It was just right when he was getting blitz, he was throwing it ahead, and then it was going into the center, and it was either a cut for a dunk or a wide open corner 3, which is, it's kind of our goal when we get blitzed. We want a dunk or a catch and shoot 3. And we did it almost every time they blitzed us. So, and I mean, usually Tyrese will, or sometimes he'll shy away from it because they're blitzing him, but he just kept calling for it and was just ready to make the next play and get everybody involved in it. I thought it helped us and gave our other guys, like, you know, really good opportunities.
It's basically been a full year since Tyrese was thrust into the same role he's been in lately, with Joel out and Paul out. I guess where do you see him growing as compared to back then when he was in the number one role? Now he's doing it and he looks like a different player.
Well, I think there's a little more of a variety to what he's doing. I think he's, took a minute or two for him and Yabu to get some, synergy there in that two-man game. Again, a lot more variety, a lot more coming off the ball, a lot more back cuts, a lot more just driving into the open areas and making plays. I don't know, that's what I would say right now.
Nick, I know dealing with back-to-backs is not a new thing, but your schedule is very congested this month specifically, I guess. Have you learned anything from having all these stacked one on top of the other about how this group needs to navigate it that you think is helping you over the last week or so?
Well, I think one of the biggest things is we kind of just knew who was playing. Almost, it was just like, they're playing and they're playing. We just, again, that's been consistent. You guys, the same group's kind of been there most of this little run in the back-to-backs. I think that helps, and I think you just got to attack them like that. Like, we got a game on the schedule, man, we're going to play it. We got one tomorrow, we got to play that one too. And you know what I always say, we're going to go like everything we got into the first one, see if we can get it, and then see where we stand for the next day. And I thought the guys, they again, back to Gina, they were pretty disappointed. We gave that one away in Sacramento. A lot of talk about, we got to get this one, man. We deserve a W tonight, but we got to work for it. And there was a lot of that going on.